MLB The Show 22 tech test just came out, and you guys know we had to do a BR run right after rip right here. So the tech test doesn't mean it's the final say in what everything's going into everything in MLB The Show, but it is a good indicator of what we might see. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to a draft. Let's see what we got right here. Okay, so right off the rip, again, this is the tech test. Just keep that as a reminder. There is no forfeit button. There is no redraft button. There is nothing there, at least as of right now. So that's not in the game. That's kind of an L in my opinion, but, you know, it is what it is. I want to go ahead and go over a lot of these picks as well, because a lot of these guys' pitches change, and you guys might not know it, but some guys we used last year aren't as usable in this year as well. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Babe Ruth. Obviously, Babe Ruth is amazing. We're going to take him with that pick. With this draft, and it's just me the tech test because it's crazy. It's different in the actual like battle royale. But in these drafts, you actually go diamond, diamond, gold, gold, gold. And then after that, it's completely random. So just keep that in mind if you guys are doing this in the tech test right now. You guys know I absolutely love Stan, so let's go ahead and take him with that pick. Okay, so we are into our gold round. Now, look at this. We got our boy Blake Trinan, one of my favorite, if not favorite, battle royale relievers in last year's game. He sells his sinker. He sells his cutter. We're going to go and take him with this pick right here. Now, with this round, I really love Jorge Polanco. You guys know we love him. He's always been a great card for us. Switch hitter, too. Just an amazing pick overall. Now we get... Okay. Wow. Okay, so after all the BR drafts I've seen, I've actually never seen a gold card not picked in order. So this is kind of random, but, you know, again, this is just how it is in the tech test right now. Now, another thing we want to do is we want to take a look at all these pitches now. Now, last year, Taylor Wells, probably not the most usable guy, but he's got the slider. He's got the circle change. Circle change is on a lot of guys this year, and the circle change was nasty last year. So keep that in mind as you guys are going through all these people. But in this situation, I'm going to go take Dansby Swanson. Absolutely love his swing. I assume he's going to be just as good as he is in last year's game. You guys know I love Brian Reynolds. One thing to note, too, on Jared Walsh, last year he actually had relief pitcher as a secondary position. This year, it doesn't look like it is listed on there. So just keep that in mind, too. And not that you guys probably ever used him, but another thing to note, we're going to go take Brian Reynolds with this pick. Okay, this is actually an interesting one. Alex Young last year was really good as a lefty. Still has a sinker, still has a cutter. Very, very usable bronze card as a starting pitcher. Love that pick right there. Really, really good card. Again, kind of just like last year, our draft is going to stay the exact same right here. We're going to go ahead and take, I don't even know what to say to his name, but he's a common. We're going to go take him right there. Another reliever I absolutely loved last year, James Hoyt. Actually, I think ended up being my best ERA bronze reliever overall with like 30 or 40 innings pitched. I think he had like a point something ERA, which is unreal in battle royale. Has a slider, sinker, fastball, and a circle change. So beautiful pick right there. We're going to take him as our bullpen guy. Again, nothing really here. Michael Pineda, you know, same pitch as pretty much last year's circle change as well. Go and take him that starting pitcher right there. Well, why don't you look at that? We got Aaron Loop, a sinker, a cutter, a circle change, and a slurve. Now, I have not been able to use him yet, so I don't know if his delivery is still glitched. I would assume it's probably not anymore, but maybe something we can do in the gameplay here today. Again, we'll go with the starting pitcher as a bronze card. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we have Michael Gibbons again. You know, fastball, changeup, slider. He was really good in past MLB The Shows. But look at this. We got our boy Miguel Sano. Pretty similar attributes to last year. I think his fielding might be a little bit worse, maybe a tad bit worse. Again, these aren't the final ratings for them, so just keep that in mind. So with that pick, we'll go ahead and take Miguel Sano. Still a beautiful pick right there. Now, an interesting one right here too. Okay, so we have Hyun-Jin Ryu. Still has a cutter, does not have a sinker anymore. So keep that in mind. I really love this card because he had that sinker. But look at Tim Mazza now. Tim Mazza has a sinker, slider, and four-seam fastball. Last year, he had two fastballs. So he had a two-seam, he had a four-seam instead of a sinker. Now, again, the sinker and the two-seam, depending on how their break attribute is, could be pretty similar. But it's really cool to see a sinker there. We're going to go with Tim Mazza, get that lefty in the bullpen. Honestly, a pretty good silver round here, too. Now, Tyler Madsick, last year, he had a cutter. And this year, it doesn't look like he has a cutter this year. So he has a four-seam, a slider, and a curveball. He had a cutter last year. Unfortunately, doesn't have one in this year's game. I'm still going to go ahead and take him here. He's a lefty reliever, still a really good attribute, so I'm going to go ahead and take him, but kind of a bummer he doesn't that cutter anymore. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't take Mike Moustakas here, but really quick, I want to go over Emmanuel Clase. Now, again, has a cutter, slider, and four-seam. He does have a completely different release point now, too. His mechanics have changed a little bit, so keep that in mind. If we look at his quirks, he does have that outlier on the cutter on his primary pitch, which is wild because outlier's still in the game again, as we, talk about this too. He's going to be throwing very hard on that cutter just like he does in real life. Let's go ahead and go with Mike Moustakas right here, though. And then we'll round out, again, our starting rotation with the Kama, which is beautiful. Now, I think Nick Salen actually had like 5 pitches last year. I could be wrong, but for some reason that's popped in my head. And he does have a sinker. I don't think he had a sinker last year. He could maybe be a good guy out of the bullpen there. In this situation, again, none of these guys really have any crazy pitches that I really want to use. Let's go with Victor Caratini here for a catcher. Okay, so for this round, I mean, Andrew McCutcheon looks nice. He's good against lefties, you know that. Josh Harrison, nothing too much crazy. Manny Pena could be nice as a backup catcher. Colin McHugh, I think had 4 or 5 pitches. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly, but looks like he's a little bit nerfed this year. Not that he was great last year at all. Has a slider, cutter, and a 4-seam, so really no change up, you know, that could be a tough one right there. I'm going to go with Manny Pena, get our backup catcher just in case, you know, we don't get anybody for Victor Caratini. Now for this round, we have Jorge Mateo with 99 speed, which is amazing. But if you guys remember from last year, Justin Topa, 99 velocity, 99 break. He's got a really weird motion. I know he was a sinker, slider, and fastball, but one of my favorite bronze leaders last year. Go ahead and take him with this pick. So this bronze round, nothing too crazy. Ji-Man Choi was one of my favorite batters off the bench last year. Again, he's got a really good splits against righties. So go ahead and take Ji-Man Choi with that bronze pick. Now, this will be something you guys notice on Kendall Graveman. Last year, he had a cutter. This year, there is no cutter there. So another pitch that, you know, we used to love to use with him. He's got a sinker, a slider, a 4-seam fastball, a circle change, and a curveball. I think if I remember right, they gave him a changeup and they took out the cutter. I think that sounds right. I still think Kendall Graveman is a really good reliever, so we're going to take him right there. In this round, really nothing. We're going to get some speed over there. We need somebody off the bench that has a lot of speed. Last year, Dylan Carlson was an absolute menace. I think he'll be the exact same thing this year. He'll probably get better attributes over the year, so he's a nice pick right there. This ended up being a really good silver round as well. Of course, we need to put one more guy in the bullpen. Camilo Duvall had a really glitchy release last year. Now, this year, there is no cutter. There's no cutter either. So he has a slider, a 4-seam, and a 2-seam. He does have cheesy, which is, you know, he throws an extremely effective fastball. No outlier there. I don't remember if he had outlier last year. I can't remember off the top of my head either. But Camilo Duvall, we're going to take him right here. And this actually would be a pretty good bronze round, too. We got Daniel Vogelbach and Chris Davis, 2 of my favorite cards from last year. In this situation, I probably need a righty off the bench. I already have a good lefty with Ji-Man Choi. Let's take Chris Davis right here. So again, as of right now, this is just going to be just like last year, setting it up. We're going to go with Stanton, Babe Ruth, Jorge Polanco, Mike Moustakas, Dansby Swanson, Brian Reynolds, Manny Pena, and Dylan Carlson. Now, one thing to note, guys, is take a look at all these guys' swings because they will be different than last year. Not everyone's will be, but there are some noticeable different swings. Giancarlo Stanton, off the top of my head, already is one that's already way different than it was last year. For our bench, Victor Caratini, Miguel Sano, Andrew Stevenson, Ji-Man Choi, and Chris Davis. Now, for our bullpen, Blake Trinan, Kendall Graveman, Camilo Duvall, Tyler Matzik, Aaron Loop, Tim Mazza, James Hoyt, and Justin Topa. A lot of these cards I used a ton last year, so really excited to use them as well. And then our starting rotation, really nothing too crazy there. Alex Young could be started for us with that sinker and cutter. But this is a pretty good team, so let's get right into our first gameplay here. Okie dokie, so let's go with James Hoyt, one of my favorite bronze last year. We have a really good lineup. Maybe we get our first 12-0 in MLB Show 22 as well with this run. We'll see what we can do. I'm excited. Okay. Good lineup right here. Got Charlie Morton going. One thing I love is these new intros, animations, everything. Everything looks so clean. It just looks really, really good. So that's one thing off the rip that I've noticed a lot. It's such a clean thing in the beginning. All right, here we got Stanton leading off. Now, Charlie Morton, what's he got? Sinker and cutter still. Circle change as well. He's going to be an absolute menace. Look at Giancarlo Stanton. Still such a good swing, man. He has such a good swing. I love the swing last year. I think his swing might be even better this year. It's actually amazing. Babe Ruth. Oh, goodness. Get out. Come on. Get out. Get out. Babe Ruth. Look at Babe Ruth with the home run. That ball was smashed. Oh, good swing right there. Just a little bit off on that one. One thing I will say, too, hitting seems pretty similar. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't seem too crazy. Again, this is a tech test. Just keep that in mind. But it seems pretty similar in my eyes as of right now. But it is a lot smoother. That's one thing to note. Gameplay is just so much smoother in this game. It's actually really cool. It's really good so far. 100%. Oh, goodness. I just missed that one, too. I just missed that one, too. Goodness gracious. All right, we'll take a walk right there. Didn't get to swing a Dansby. One thing, too, is stamina seems to be a little bit still of a problem in BR. Brian Reynolds, did you do it? I think we just missed that one. All right, just missed that one, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. Looks very, very similar to last year. Very similar to last year with this pitching. We'll get that Stanton. Another thing, too, is it seems like the outfielders are a little bit slower. I don't know if that's something that was intentional or not, but it seems like they're a little bit slower out there. Dylan, make a play for us. The bat sounds really good still. I really love how the bat sounds. Just overall, I've really enjoyed this gameplay so far. Go grab that stand. A nice little 1-2-3 inning. We gotta keep hitting, baby. Looks like my opponent quit. For some people keep quitting in tech tests, which I never understand. It doesn't make sense to me. But that's kind of our little first gameplay of BR right here, man. It's been, you know, it's been a fun thing to do. One thing to note too, again, is that you actually don't go back into the BR menu. It actually sets you back to the beginning menu, which I don't know if that's intentional again too. It was like that last year. Hopefully they fix that for us as well. But there's our first one. I'm going to go ahead and do this run on my Twitch stream. So I stream on Twitch. It'll be twitch.tv/RayCheesy21. That'll be down below for you guys. I always go live from Monday to Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we'll be doing that run for that. If you guys want to stop in there and check it out, that'd be awesome. But other than that, guys, please leave a like. That helps with the algorithm. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you guys all notifications turned on. Never miss a video. And comment down below what you guys think about BR so far. Again, it's a tech test. There's a lot to go with on this, so just keep that in mind. But I think it's a good start so far. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.